Good morning. Today is August 7th, 2024. The time is now 9:01 a.m. I'm Kevin Day, Chair of the Custer County Board of Commissioners. I will call this meeting to order. If you have your cell phones, if you could please silence them at this time, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you could join us for the roll call, or for the pledge and for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me for the invocation. Lord, I just thank you for this country that we get to live in and for this county and for the beauty that surrounds us. I pray, Lord, for this governing body. I pray, Lord, that we think about our citizens and all the taxpayers and make decisions that are based upon efficiency and services for all of the people. I just pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir. Peggy, could we get a roll?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Day?
Present. Commissioner
Kanda?
Here.
Commissioner F?
Yes.
Attorney Dan Slade?
Here.
And Deputy Clerk Peggy Miller.
Okay. And we will go to audience introductions, sir.
Jim Chaplin.
All right. He's trying for that extra time on the public comment.
He figures if there's three,
10 seconds off of
15
his
minutes.
time.
Wacky.
And then we do have a few people online. So if anyone goes to,
You got some names on them, just out of curiosity.
we have Alexis, we have Deb, Adams, we got, I think that's a county recording, and then Steve. But if you go to speak later, please ID yourself for the record. Do we have any amendments to the agenda?
None here.
None, sir.
All right. Commissioner items, Commissioner Kanda.
No big news except to remind everybody we've got the Airfest on the 10th. And the way the weather's been, may it be like last year, I hope not. They got a good program, a lot of people coming. Also, KRDO is dragging their feet. They're having technical problems with the firewall that they've been working on. And so I'm going to have to withstand the criticism for another week. We'll find out what they're going to do. And that's all the new news.
That's 13.
Yeah, Channel 13. They're going to do it first, and before they purchase, the reason they're doing it first is the antenna's correct for it. New antenna, they're not going to buy one until they prove out the concept here, to make sure that both antennas good.
So 13, get that up and go on with that. Work
Yeah,
together.
then they're going to buy the wire for the tower and the new antenna.
And that'd be 11, right?
Okay.
Commissioner
The Workforce Housing Board, we're gonna meet Thursday. We'll go over those deed restrictions on those 7 lots. A couple of the board members have already been working on those. We will need to get those to Dan. Mr. Slater, sir, just because I know that they won't be in legal language, they'll be pretty raw, so.
Okay.
We'll be looking at that. Lisa Haman is going to be doing the finance report at the staff report BOCC meetings here going forward, so she'll be in attendance to give those. I talked to Sam DiNardo and Lisa. It is 7 years for holding finance records, so anything past 7 years, if we decided to, we could get rid of. The audit is
Before
not
you go
going
further on that one, we're going to have to make a decision on that. We're not just going to let it sit, right? Because in my view right now, I think we need to keep the records. If there's some that go back to 2010 or something, probably still, given the track record we had on the issues that we're still trying to solve.
Okay, so we probably need to have a discussion as to why we're going to keep those.
Right.
And for how long.
For how long, much
Keep
longer.
those,
Doesn't
right?
mean we don't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
shouldn't. And in some cases, we got to be careful too with personnel issues too. Talking to Bob earlier, because there's a need to keep records longer.
Yeah.
A lot of reasons.
But it would, I mean, it would cost us a bunch of money to go through all those records.
They try to call.
Paper too, right? The audit is not gonna look much different. I don't want anybody, I mean, I know that people think that we're just waiting for the 23 audit, that'll prove out, it doesn't prove out anything other than we shouldn't have a qualified opinion because we got the information to
And they're
them.
working on.
And they had plenty of time to do it in, so. He had said, he had made the statement that August 6th was about when he started last year on the audit for 22. So, and they are just getting finished up here in the next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go visit him for 2-3 hours on the 20th. And then he wants to give his presentation to the board on the 28th, that afternoon, in a special meeting that is just set up for him to give that presentation.
Open meeting.
Yes.
I won't be here, but I don't think I need me there.
Okay. No. Yeah, that afternoon. Will you be here that morning?
No,
Okay.
well, probably not. I've got a trial in Berkeley County.
Okay.
And the only other thing I worry about Sam is keeping his independence without getting him into trouble. We can ask for advice, but we gotta be careful. He's not telling us how to do it, and he and our auditor too.
So.
That's how it comes across sometimes. You gotta be careful.
So I think that I have no jurisdiction over what he does.
No.
I am not his boss, I'm not his CEO. And if people think that, that is thinking that is not correct.
we're not, I don't think that's.
He knows what the state guidelines are, and he will, I mean, he won't do anything that is going to jeopardize
Yeah, that's
that
how I'm
crossing
looking at
line,
it.
right? I mean, I don't, and I,
We can ask questions
I think
about
I could-
what we need to give him, but,
right,
I don't think anybody's thinking
Okay.
that we're guiding.
no, well, he's not gonna take our guidance.
You think?
He is here for our guidance. We are paying him, he's not paying us.
Yeah.
So their visit up here that they had in July, that second week of July, right after the 4th, they got all the information they needed in those
Okay, good.
couple days. So they're going through it now. And we should be finished up. And then on the 28th, we'll see his report, and then we'll send it off to the state, make whatever corrections we need to for whatever that purpose is. I think there's a letter we got to push with it. So Lisa will be here for that meeting as well. So I'll talk to her about that. So.
Good.
But John, I think we were all pretty much aware of it. Because 23 was over when we started addressing the issue, so everybody was aware going in that it wasn't gonna be
Yeah, I
a
don't,
lot different.
I just don't want to put any information out to the public that is any different than that. So
Okay,
that's all I got.
thank you. I received an email, I don't know if you guys did, because I was blind copied on it, from Metro One Ambulance.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So if you guys would like to address that at a future meeting, we can get that on the agenda. They are out of Colorado Springs, but say they have some transports that originate in our county. That being said, they don't believe they would go over their 12 run maximum before they have to have the authorization to operate in Custer County. But I guess we could discuss that.
How come it never was brought up before?
They just now sent that. They are a new outfit. They are actually, they stayed in the email, a sister company to MedRide. So they are asking for the authorization to operate in Custer County on the off chance that they end up with more than 12 runs in our county. We also have, I think it could be done at the Same time, I think Deer Mountain Ambulance, at that barn fire the other day, Deer Mountain came as a mutual aid to the fire department. When they came, their ambulance came as well. I believe they also do operate in parts of our county. Anyway, I think we might need to address whether or not to give them an authorization to operate in the county as well. So those are both things we probably would need to look at. If you guys, gentlemen, are good with that, I will get that on a future agenda.
Just not next week's.
I won't do it next week because that's pretty full.
Pretty full already.
So possibly in okay. Do we need to have a conversation in regards to the request we had in regards to the quote-unquote flock cameras?
I think he's going to present,
Okay.
and it would have to be in next year's budget, so
Okay.
I would assume.
All right. I do have a property that has been discussed at the weed board that has a lot of weeds. I'm going to say, no, it just went away from me. That need to be addressed. Since I can't think of the name of my weed, I'm going to go on with it. And this individual has not addressed the weeds, has become an issue with neighboring properties. It is a weed that is on the noxious weed list. I was going to reach out to this party.
The one I forwarded to
No, this is
Kevin Lane.
this is, I don't want to disclose
a
the
new
name
weed?
at this time.
I don't.
No, this
know.
is an old weed, spurge. Thank you. You made me come up with my
All right.
name. It is spurge. So it was in there. I just couldn't find it. So I am going to reach out to this individual and see if they would address these weeds. And then I guess I would have a question to you, sir, as to how that looks if they are not a willing participant. I guess that would be in regards to what our county weed policy as well as the state guideline, the state rules.
I'd have to look at that if we're done,
And,
so let's just hope it doesn't.
But I think first step would be to reach out to this individual and let them know that there is some opportunity for some cost share if they do choose voluntarily to address those weeds. And then if that doesn't take care of that, I will probably be in touch with you, sir.
All right.
On that. Then I think we all got the email from Joe Lobiondo in regards to the county, state and county wildfire agreements. Those are due in January of next year. They are having meetings. The meeting for our area is on the 27th of August. I do not know a time on that. That's a 2-hour meeting. And I think the sheriff would need to be advised of that as well, because the first hour is set for the county sheriff's input. And that's in the first hour of that. So I wanted to make sure that we all had that on our calendars. And that's August 27th.
I didn't pin that.
And he said he included some attachments, but I did not find any attachments. I found the link to go to register, but I didn't go there yet.
Who sent it?
Joe Lobiondo.
I was lost. I'm sorry. It's okay.
That's the one that Rich gave me last night here, if you want in.
Okay.
All right. I'll get my other spare.
August one.
August 28th, or no, August 27th. I had 8/28 wrote down from your. And that's all I have at this time. Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Peggy, would you have anything for us today? All right. We have no unfinished business on the agenda. New business. First item on our agenda is the approval of the purchase of the 2024 Tana H260 Eco Landfill Compactor. We did approve the money transfer the other day. The bank is actually looking for the minutes that state that we approved the purchase of that machine, and that is why that is back on our agenda. And I think that was our intent the other day, but the wording was not there, so.
I will make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 24 Tana H260 Eco Landfill.
I'll second.
So I do have a motion on the floor to approve the purchase of a 2024 Tana H260 landfill compactor. Further discussion?
No.
Public comment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That motion does pass. The next item would be the budget resolution 24-18 in regards to the Wetmore playground equipment. That's a resolution for supplemental budget and appropriation. And it is appropriating $15,000 will be allocated from the fund balance. It's from the Custer County Conservation Trust Fund, Fund 45. And that will be made, I guess I should read that. It's a resolution appropriating additional sums of money to defray expenses in excess of amounts budgeted for Custer County, Colorado. Whereas Custer County Conservation Trust Fund 45 has unallocated funds. The appropriation of $15,000 will be allocated from the fund balance. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Custer County, Colorado, Section 1, that a 2024 appropriation for account.
Don't read all the numbers,
Okay,
please.
for community projects be increased from 0 to 15,000. And that a 2024 appropriation of 15 from the Conservation Trust Fund be transferred to that fund for the purpose of the purchasing and installation of playground equipment at the Wetmore Community Center.
And this is what CTF funds, Conservation Trust funds, are to be used for. They're pretty, very limited in scope, and there is money left in there, so there's a proper use of this money that is from that Conservation Trust fund.
I move we adopt resolution 24.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion on the floor to adopt resolution number 24-18. Further discussion here at the table.
This will be posted on the DOLA's website, so we're doing that with all the resolutions like we're supposed to. So it'll be posted there in a week or two. Continue on with where we post our budgets and all that.
Public comment.
So you have to have a resolution to, right, to move the money now or not in terms of finance wise?
Yeah, that's what this is for.
Is this gonna do that?
Yes.
Those in favor of adopting resolution number 24-18, resolution for supplemental budget and appropriation. Signify by saying aye.
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 Had we known about, let's say, like budgeting for 25, we knew that we were gonna get this grant, or we're gonna spend it on this, then we don't have to go through that process next year when we finally do it. But since it wasn't a budget, it's not in there.
Yeah.
It's just keeps us hopefully transparent of where we move money and why.
Okay. Next item, BOC admin assistant position.
Well, so I kind of put this on here, you know, we've burned through quite a few of them. I don't think it's necessarily the fault of us or a bad system. It's, things happen, stuff happens, life. So what I would like to talk about doing is peeling off the PIO part of that role and allowing someone else to do that role, as well as using that, shifting that money into the finance department to get an AP clerk, credit card monitor person. And I think that person could probably also do a little help on some of these BOCC points, the agenda resolutions, but we need to be very task specific with that AP clerk so that she wouldn't get bogged down, or he wouldn't get bogged down with anything that would be an admin assistant position, but it's a way of not creating another position that has another salary, but uses positions we already have and adds tasks to those with possibly more salary. And I just wanted to start that conversation. So
I think being able to have them do step into some of that AP role would be beneficial.
well, it's not some, it'd have to be all.
Well, okay, so let me, I'll stand corrected on that.
Maybe some of the BOCC admins.
I would say that we need to be able to make sure that they're able to take that admin stuff back from Kelly Camper. And you stated that, at least in part, on the agendas, on the resolutions and things of that nature. I think we would just need to be cognizant to make sure that we pull that back here where it belongs, rather than otherwise, because that has been over there for quite some time, and not necessarily in that description over there. But
Well, we need an admin, period. We've got to get one located, because that's true, we don't need Kelly doing that, and we also have that, using that admin for the Secretary of the Health Board. So it's things we gotta get an admin. Whether or not, and we can always move other, if we're gonna change the finance office, we can do that and move grants somewhere, or at AP payroll. It's gonna be different or not. So what do you want to do?
So are you thinking about moving this down to a part-time position then?
No, I was thinking
It's still full-time?
be a full-time job, so I would gotta understand what I like your idea.
Because we will add $45,000 to our total bottom line, or $50,000 to add on another person.
So you
I
want to
think
get, we were talking at one point of getting a finance assistant position, accountant,
So what I kind of see is 3 to 4 people is what Sam DiNardo made the comment of, and he says, and he told me the other day, and this is probably the harshest he's been to me, is he says, I still don't see 3 to 4 people in your finance.
Yeah, we need to get it.
So right now, we've got, Vernon almost full-time, and we have Jen almost full-time. I shouldn't be saying names, but we have those almost full-time. But we know that some of the HR policy building and risk management isn't taking place.
Right.
So we really need to have that person train up. I think an AP clerk, somebody that would pay our bills, cuts the checks for all the staff's pay. That keeps the separation between the payroll part of HR and cutting checks, which has been recommended to us by both Lisa Amon and
Right.
The auditor. So we need that role. So that's one full-time position. We have what Lisa and I call the comptroller person in Vernon, who is one person in the books. We still need the finance director, which right now Lisa's kind of filling in that
Until we get
role right now until we get somebody. And so that's almost 3 total people, but we really need somebody to just handle all the grants from a financial standpoint. And that makes
So what do you,
3 to 4 people.
so what do you propose for the BOCC admin? Like, we're
Well,
talking about
what
it.
I was thinking is, if you can take, what does the BOCC admin need to do, have to do for us? Not what we would love, but what do we have to have done? And how do we take those specific tasks and allow others to do that we already have on staff?
Okay.
So break that out.
So what we ought to do is take a hard look at the job description again, right? And in another meeting. And the other issues that we've got with finance, around all those things, and come up with the overarching structure, right? And then man it.
Yeah, because
Oh,
for just an admin, the OCC admin wouldn't be a full-time position, if that's all they did.
Well,
You can
depends on
make
what
it
you
that
could
way.
say.
we
what
could,
you gotta say
if
what
we
an
can make
admin
any
is.
department into,
Well,
right?
So we gotta
Yeah,
define what an admin
want.
But for a have-to thing, we have had the PIO on there. I like the idea of splitting that out and putting that elsewhere, and which would take some load off of that. But if we could, to your point, if we could relieve, takes that AP part away from where it is now, that would allow them to help in HR more. I can kind of see the flow of that running, and
So maybe what I should,
sorry, I'm stumbling on my thoughts here, but, and then I agree that we need to have the grants admin centralized. It is, I guess, siloed in too many separate departments, and it all needs to be centralized, so we have.
That's a finance issue.
well, so I think it seems like, well, it doesn't seem like, it is, Custer County Kids Council, all these separate departments, all do great reporting from their stance to the state and their reporting agencies. What we haven't always done a very good job of is from a centralized finance part. So, right, that grant lives here, that grant is part of the finances, but it's also part of each and every department. So they report specific things that are not related to the finances to those state departments, and they do a great job of that. We haven't always done such a great job of reporting it from a finance standpoint from here, and helping us manage those. Plus, we've got 2 or 3 or 4, I mean, we've been dealing with, or that we have, or that maybe we could be a part of, like the airport grant and all that. That would help us manage all that from inside the finance department, where it should probably be held.
Keeping track, basically, just tracking.
So maybe what I'll propose here is we put it on another meeting and we talk about it, and I provide you guys an organization chart, maybe that would help, and kind of what these different, and I've been working on that with Lisa, but audit has been our focus, so.
So we have to focus on the future. And so what is the finance department going to look like, which
Right.
is the heartbeat of the county? We have to have, that's the finance.
HR is what our,
You bet. And so I like the idea of defining what it's gonna look like, and let's see how we go about managing it now, and evolving into that. So that's good.
So, yeah, the admin's a portion of that, as well as finance department, so maybe we'll list it a little broader.
so why don't
Have that
So,
discussion.
one of the two of you just think of what you want for, what you have to have from a BOCC admin assistant. And let me know what those bullet points are.
Once you find it, I'm pretty sure we've got it, but we have the most current one that
Yeah,
Jennifer worked up for us. And then Mike was hired against it.
right.
So let's get it as a starting point.
Yeah, one of those things that we tend to lose when we don't have an admin, and then, is when we sit in here and we make a decision. We assume that what we decide is going to happen. So many times we drop the ball on following through and making sure that that happens, and that's where an admin, so.
I'll remind you.
You're doing a pretty good job.
But, you know, our last admin here, I was making sure and looking at him and saying, we need to make sure that this gets posted, or we need to make sure that letter gets wrote.
Yeah, some of that stuff.
Because sometimes we make that decision and we think it's magically gonna happen, but we need to make sure that gets followed up on, and I think that would be one of those things you just asked for me.
All right.
So, anything else on that then? And I think, yeah, well, if we have that as a part of the discussion, I guess a broader one, we kind of went a little bit farther today anyway, but what that BOCC admin / finance / HR will all look like.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Anything else from you, sir?
No.
Nothing from you either, alrighty. Thought I'd check. Next item would be the Carson Sills short-term rental. Good morning. Good morning. There it is.
So during the August
I didn't
5th
shake your hand.
Planning
Sorry.
Commission.
I was trying to
Now
find
you're
it.
gonna
Jumping
do it.
in, you guys are moving
I
right
made us all
along.
look bad.
Don't stop us now, we're on a roll.
During the August 5th Planning Commission meeting, the Planning Commission did vote to recommend approval for the Carson Sills short-term rental. It is a short-term rental property out on 107 Horn Silver Drive in Westcliff, Rosita area. There were a few additional recommendations that they had before we would give approval, was to add hours of quiet time to the house rules. Those lots are very small lots, and their concern was that if there was a party going on or something, that they listed what time quiet time was. So whatever, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., something along those lines. They want that in the rules. And then There was no listing of emergency contact numbers in the rental packet. I believe she had them, it just didn't show, but we listed that as a recommendation before approval. And then better define the location of the fire extinguishers in the packet, in the renter's packet. So everybody did, it was a unanimous vote. There were 5 votes, 6 members there to vote, and all 6 voted yes.
One you can go around. Letters from neighbors.
There was, you would ask me that. There were 3 letters. One was a full-time resident that had concerns about security, concerns about outsiders tainting the small community, the integrity of and tranquility of that little area. Those lots are very small. There was another one, they lived across the street, but they're within 300 yards. Not a full-time resident. They put in a letter saying they had no objections to the short-term rental. There was another one that was an adjoining neighbor. They were not a full-time resident. They had no objections. They just suggested that there are clear rules about safety, fire danger, and emergency access, and would like the visitors to be familiar with the HOA rules. There's not an HOA out there, so that was one of their concerns.
Good point then. Thank you. Anything from either of you gentlemen?
No, I think,
No, I'm in that one,
trying to
pretty
look forward.
straightforward, so it helps.
Is it, I'm trying to find it on the
Yeah.
drawing you gave it.
It's a flagpole lot, and that was the one we thought originally should have had an easement. So it's right here, Bill, in the blue outline. So you come off of Silverhorn right
Oh,
there
that's
and
why I
turn
couldn't
in and
see
go up. That lot is very well defined. It's completely fenced. They have no trespassing signs already posted. They have everything put together.
It's under Carson's.
That's the one you were checking on the easement on.
Yeah, because of one from that flagpole.
All right, I
lot doesn't
move
have
we
any-
accept the recommendation of the commission.
I'll second.
So I have a motion on the floor to accept the recommendations of the planning commission and approve the short-term rental application for Sandra Carson and Stephen Sills
With the additions.
with
With the
the
stipulations, conditions as,
stipulations noted from the planning commission. Thank you, sir.
regular conditions.
Further discussion here at the table? Not for me. Public comment? That being the case, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That motion carries.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, okay. Any additional items of business, gentlemen?
None from me.
So next meeting is staff reports, and that'll be here, that's on the 14th. The 21st will be down in Wetmore. Sorry, Jim, I know that's not a good day for you.
He's gone.
Well, I go wave as I go past, because I gotta go down to the doctor's appointment.
And then the 28th, we'll have a BOCC meeting, and then we'll have the audit, the planned audit report from our auditor on the 28th that afternoon.
That's our next 4 weeks. Okay, and I was going to add something to that. That was the authorization to operate, and that will go on the 21st meeting. Okay. Public comment. Yes, sir. You're running out of time.
Jim Chaplin, just to comment on the BOC position there. You know, we hate to see anything that increases expenses, but this sounds like it's gonna promote smoothness and efficiency and stuff, will be a much needed thing. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, sir. Seeing none online, this meeting is adjourned at 9:41.
Why did I miss that
I should have bet you.
bet?
It was his lunch anyway.